like they did a nice job on the deck.
In planning for your Crystal Light railing, it's assumed the surface the railing will be mounted on has been constructed with proper materials and sound building practices. This video guide provides the basics for railing installation. Since it is not possible to cover every condition that may exist, it is understandable that there may be potential installations not included in this installation guide. The railing components you receive from Crystal Light are based on the style and measurements submitted to the company or a local retailer.
All right, I'll mark it off as you go through it.
Be sure to check the manifest to ensure that everything needed for railing construction is there. Screws and fasteners will be standard, but other railing components will have to be custom cut for an exact fit. Cut all parts with a 10 or 12-inch miter chop saw with a non-ferrous metal cutting blade. Other tools that are or may be needed are a 3/8-inch electric drill to bore pilot holes. A cordless drill is recommended. A short level, no longer than 2 feet. A post level. Drill index set graduated in 1/32. A 6-inch drill bit, 3/16. A speed square. 4 quick grip vices with at least a 10-inch wide gripping capacity. Extension cords. A number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. A non-marking rubber mallet. Pencils. Chalk line. Tape measure. A 6 or 8-inch half-round file or second cut file. A square drive bit number 3 by 6 inches. Wax to lubricate screws and saw blade. A Crystal Light drill jig, especially useful for cutting from stock lengths. 2 top rail clamps. These are necessary when installing the 9001 system. Glass vacuum cups for installing glass panels. 15/64 transfer punch, which is very helpful for stair installation. Transit or water level. This is required for uneven surfaces. A pop rivet gun. And of course, eye and ear protection. Concrete or masonry installations will require special tools and fasteners. Remember to cut all parts with a chop saw. Make pilot holes for screws because they will not self-tap. Pre-drill all aluminum construction holes with 3/16-inch drill. Pre-drill holes in decking, floor joists, or blocking. The holes must be to the required diameter for the fastener being used. And make sure all screws or fasteners anchoring posts to the deck or mounting surface are embedded into joists or the subsurface to the required minimum length. With plans in hand and all the parts and tools checked off, it's time to begin. Start by positioning the posts on the deck at the approximate locations. Locate the position of the anchor post. When the edge of the base plate is flush with the rim joist, the holes in the base plate will be centered in the joist. Measure the overhang of the fascia to find the position of the base plate.
Perfect. Yeah, right there.
Use the same measurements to position the opposite corner post.
Between our 2 posts.
Measure distance between the end posts to set the center post. A calculator is really helpful here. Before measuring for the railing, trim off the painted end to make sure it is square. Measure the distance between the posts and cut the lower railing. Cutting should be with the bottom of the rail against the saw's fence. This keeps cutting burrs under the rail. Use the same measurement from the bottom rail to cut the PVC inserts. When cutting the PVC or vinyl parts for the rails, it's suggested you use a piece of wood against the saw's fence. This reduces chattering and ensures a smooth cut. Drill 1/4-inch drain holes 6 inches from the ends in the center of the bottom rail and PVC. Snap on the rail. When attaching the rails, drill 3/16 holes at an angle. This will eliminate any gaps between the post and rail when screwed together. Attach all of the bottom rails in the same manner. For this application, we will measure between the two end posts to determine the length of the snap pocket. Remember to trim off the painted ends before measuring and cutting the piece. Slide the snap pocket into place and clamp. Drill a 3/16 inch hole at an angle through the snap pocket and the shear block. Then screw them together from the bottom. Next, use the top PVC pocket insert to set the space between the posts. There is a grooved line on the top of the snap pocket. Use this as a guide for drilling holes. Secure the snap pocket to the center posts. Now screw down the corner end posts first, making sure they're positioned over joist or blocking. And remember to make pilot holes to guide the screws. Anchor the corner posts first. Check that the posts are plumb before tightening down. Before setting the center post, use a plumb line along the outside of the corner posts. This will help you position the smaller center posts. If the deck is a little uneven, place a metal or plastic shim under the post. Tighten all screws. Measure and cut the top rail.
15/16.
Again, remember to trim off the painted end before measuring. Loosen one screw in the end post before snapping on the top rail. This allows for a little play and avoids scratching the rail. When the railing is in place, retighten the screw. For glass panel railings, now snap in the PVC strip. Secure fit with a few taps of the mallet. Tap in post caps. For glass panel installation, you will need to provide the following dimensions: the length of the bottom rail from post to post, and from the bottom of the bottom rail to the bottom of the top rail. Before installing glass panels, lubricate the PVC slots with glass cleaner. Place the glass into the top rail first, then push down into the bottom slot. The pre-cut panels should allow about an inch gap between the glass and the posts. For more information, visit us on the web at www.crystallightinc.com or call 1-800-666-6065.